Apparently Patrick Stewart works great as a villain. Who would have thought that? Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my apartment. Now today we are going to be talking about the film Green Room. This is a film which I really didn't know what to expect. I think I saw the trailer once before going to see this movie. And if you've watched enough of these videos, you know that that is how I really like seeing my movies, is when I know very, very little going into the experience, and that was how I went to this movie. General plot of the movie is that this punk band, they are on this really small tour. They're not really that well known, and they end up at this random club that they're kind of told to go to, and they do their set, and then as they're leaving they come across a murder, and then they are just stuck there and they cannot leave, and it becomes a matter of survival. We have Anton Yelchin. He is the main star of this movie. I believe I've seen him in other things, but I can't really place him that well, but he does a very good job in this movie. I really liked his performance, and it just all worked really well. The villain of this movie is Patrick Stewart, who I don't think, to my memory at least, I've seen in the villain role. He does it really well, and he's easily one of my favorite parts of the movie, because he's not like this evil, manipulative person. He basically is this businessman. He's dealt with this situation before, and is trying to run through the routine, get the situation resolved as soon as possible so that he is up and running by the next day. And it's a very interesting take on this kind of character, and I really liked just how calm he could be at one moment and then just like go off the chain and the next, and it was just a very cool thing to see. That said, he is a little bit underdeveloped. I would have liked to see a little bit more of just kind of who he is as a person, instead of just being this face for this whole corruption and this whole attempted murder thing that's happening. So I would have liked to see a little bit more of what drove him, maybe how they got to the point where they have to kill these kids, or how this has happened before in the past. That would have been kind of a cool addition to see. Plus the movie's only 90 minutes long, so it could have been a little bit longer if I wanted to. That said, the movie is very, very engaging. I was hooked from the beginning all the way to the end, and it was just a very fun ride. And it takes a little bit to get to the action bits, but just the build-up, it works really well, because we're introduced to generally this whole band. We get to see their different personalities and just kind of see how they work as a unit, and then once they're in the survival situation, how each person kind of decides to break down in their own unique way, and the ways that these people decide to try to survive. And most of them do not. There are a lot of deaths in this movie, which is to be expected because it is a horror thriller. And if you've seen the trailer, you know a lot of people die in this movie. They're very gory deaths, but they also look very, very good. Both the deaths themselves, in regards to like throats being clawed out, or just people being shot in the face, stuff like that. It all looks very, very good. Even the prosthetics for limbs that are getting hurt and everything like that looks very, very good. And it looked realistic to the point where it needed to for this movie. I also feel like the reactions of most of the characters were realistic in regards to how an average person would react to the situation. You start out really scared as to what's going on, try to just take control of the situation. Once you don't, you just kind of do whatever you can to survive, and sometimes it's going to get you killed because you decide to do stupid things, and it just gets it taken down. It did remind me a little bit of Saw, to a degree, where it's like these people, they're trapped, they're not playing games and everything, but they're trying to survive in this place which is trying to kill them. I also did think that the plot was just a little bit simplistic in regards to kind of, it doesn't really dive into anything that much. Anton Yelchin, he's kind of the biggest star, and he has the most meat to him as a character, and you get to see him develop the most of anybody. But most other people are just kind of these simple henchmen who don't really have a whole lot of backstory. They have these cool little things which make them unique, but they're nothing really that memorable. The ending though, like the last half hour basically, is just very, very good. I really like the last scene itself too, because it just worked very well, because it has this little comedic moment, but it also ties back to something from earlier in the film, which I really liked seeing, and it really made the film end on a very different note than I was kind of expecting it to. And guys, Green Room, I was very, very impressed with. I didn't know what to expect really going into it, and I walked out having really enjoyed myself. It does have its issues, as I've stated, but they're nothing that really tears it down for me. This is probably one of the most fun I've had with a movie for a while. And for some reason, it's these really dark, gory death fests that I found the most enjoyable. So, says something about my personality, apparently. Guys, those are my thoughts on Green Room. Definitely check it out if it's a theater near you, and I don't think you'll be disappointed if you know what you're going into. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like the film as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, fair comment, and subscribe once again if you so choose. I'd appreciate it immensely. And as always, right, people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.